Oh, you know what? I would like to do something for you guys real fast before we start.
For sure.
Calm my nerves too.
Yes.
Talking about this crazy stuffs, but. Hui ka vai mau ka o Waianae. Ka he vai mai ke po o vai o ka ne vai. Lo ihi ke ala hele o ke anai puka kuma ke avalau kuloa e. Holo I nana kulima ilma kaha. Lua lei a hiki I Waianae e. Ke mapune ke ala o ka melela oli. Mai pane ka vaiola e. A he wahino e noi. E pane mai o e he ai ke Kanaka e kumu maloko. E ana e a he wakoa. E ano e ka pula o ka leo. A he leo vale no e.
Hazel Rose, Kamaka Ona Ona, Okamalani Nahienaena. A Hawaiian name isn't just a mouthful, it's a story waiting to be told. And today's guest has a lot of layers and a lot of stories that we want to dig into. She has a lot of labels as well. She's a singer, songwriter, soldier. She's also one of the behavioral specialists for children with autism that we're going to jump into in the second segment with my brother. Just like her name, Hazel has so many layers. We're going to hopefully dig into all of them. One podcast episode is not enough to contain everything that this woman is, but my brother and I are going to give it a shot. Hazel, thank you so much for being on BrotherLee Time.
Absolutely. This is an honor and a privilege to be able to talk stories with you guys.
Okay, we got to address the Oli. What was that?
I specifically love to do that Oli because it is an Oli Komo, basically asking for permission to be somewhere and, just giving respect. But I specifically learned that Oli from one of my kumu at Waianae High School. So it means a lot to me because it was specifically made for Waianae, and that is my home in my heart and in my spirit. So.
Message received, message appreciated. Thank you so much. I heard in there, Eva.
Yep, all the west side was naming all of the ahupua'a and all of the cities, and yeah.
You know, part of the ethos of this channel, I try to express in this background because this is where our root, Taisei and I, this is the view we saw, we grew up with, where we are from in Honakaihale. And when I heard that Oli, man, that was powerful.
Thank you.
I think that's what not is missing, but I would love to see more of in this kind of digital, new, modern age, some of that. So mahalo, sis. Thank you so much.
100%. Thank you for allowing me to do that for you guys. And lo and behold, I actually have the Oni Pa'akako concert is coming up. Again, it's an annual thing. And I was privileged to be able to open the first one that they had with that same Oli. So I'll be doing it again next year.
Woo. Okay. So thank you for that. You know what? I counted. My count was 43 letters in your name. Unpack that for us a little bit.
Absolutely. So I guess we'll just go with my middle name first.
Okay.
Kamaka Ona Ona o Kamalani. And basically that is a combination of my two families, both my mom and my dad's side families. Initially, my dad's side wanted to name me Maka Ona Ona. And the translation that he had gotten was sexy eyes. And he was like, no. He was, no, denied. So they was all salty about that. And then my mom, of course, she was actually pregnant with me when my dad's father, my grandpa, I never got to meet him. He passed away. But he was very close friends with Israel Kamakawiwo'ole.
Wow.
The legend himself. And from what my parents told me, he used to rock me to sleep as a baby.
Nah.
And so my mom was pregnant with me, and the song Kamalani just kept playing all the time, And that's one of those things, right? Especially as Kanaka. Usually you give the Hawaiian name to your child based on what's going on with the weather or certain circumstances. You listen, of course, to kupuna and whatnot, but it was basically blessed by both families that we combined the two together. So everybody got their way, the kind. And it was only appropriate for maka ona ona to be in there because, yes, there is a translation that says sexy eyes, but there's also another translation that says the lovely eyes. And so that's what I take, the lovely eyes of the child of heaven, heavenly child, however you want to say that.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sis. That's a good one too, huh? Yes, sis.
Oh my God.
Hey, thank you. You know what? One thing I will say, because I want to save the fighting talk. A lot of people know you from the recent fight, and my brother's going to get into that in the second segment. But part of my impression watching it, at least on the screen, was your eyes.
Aw.
These predator-like eyes. I was hunting her down.
Lovely.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Because so many people was talking. Can I swear on this?
Yeah.
Okay,
yes.
good. Because I swear too much. And so you guys gonna actually have to regulate me. But brah, when I say that, they freaking kept coming at me about, oh, you so smiles, all smiles, and everybody's all mad at me because they're like, it's a fight, it's serious. You're supposed to be licking her. Why are you smiling for?
The eyes was what struck me.
Thank you. I'm glad you said that because I was like.
And
I look kind of corny a little bit because I was like,
nah.
the whole time.
You look good in roles. You look good as on Predator. That's the vibe I got.
Thank you. Okay.
Stay tuned for the second segment. Ty's gonna go deep in the fight, the actual fight. Back to Hazel. Is that why you got Hazel then? Or I mean, is that
so we can talk about Hazel a little bit more later.
Okay.
But the last name as well, Nahienaena, that's another strong one for me that I just wanted to quickly translate to basically the raging hot fires of Tutupele.
Nahienaena.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That's super appropriate.
Name.
I will preface all of that in saying that is not my birth name. And so we will talk about that later.
Okay, please. We got none but time.
Right.
So we've established who you are. I guess we just go by Hazel for the rest of this.
Yeah.
Is that cool?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So Hazel, let's start Waianae, beginning, Kanaka, who you are, where you're from. Let's paint a picture of your childhood.
Alrighty, so, oh my gosh, I've been dreading to say this, but I feel like this is an important thing that I need to say publicly because I represent Waianae, because I very publicly have represented Waianae. But I need to say that is not my birth home. And I know that means a lot to a lot of different people, especially in Hawaii. We go hard about where we're from. So, and that, what you just said about Eva Beach and everything. So it's important for me to say that Waianae is my home. That is my home in my spirit. That is my home in my pu'uwai. That is the first place that I got my 2 feet and became a fighter and became a person. Back in the day, unfortunately, I came from a very, very broken home. So we moved around a lot because we were homeless at times. We were in and out of homeless shelters. We were struggling, and we were in and out of apartments all over the place. So I never really had a solid, stable home until I'd say the longest I ever stayed in one place was in Wahiawa for like a couple years. And then the rest of my stability was in Waianae.
I think that's an important distinction to make. And I don't think, me personally, I think my brother would feel the same way. There's no shame attached to that.
Absolutely not.
How you just described it.
Absolutely. Yeah. I used to be shamed. I used to be very shamed forever because to me, I'm like, I'm from Waianae. This is my home. This is where I can say I am a person. There was a very long time where I couldn't say that. I didn't have, we'll talk about that a little bit more, but there was a long time where I didn't have an identity in my childhood. So for me, being able to claim a home is very important, and to be able to say out of the utmost respect for all of the greats that have come out of Waianae, it is not a gimmick. It's not something that I say lightly. I take it with full pride, and I took it with me into that ring. So,
pretty damn sure everybody from Waianae will claim you.
I hope so.
You know what I mean? Like you claim Waianae, I think Waianae claims you too.
I think so.
I think that idea of home is not spoken about enough, because a house is different than a home.
Absolutely. Yes.
And we see it instead of saying homeless, houseless, that's one way to look at it. But also the way you just did, I think is important, because a lot of us, people born and raised in the islands, do move around.
Yeah. Yeah.
And not everyone grows up from 0 to like 18 or whatever in the same home.
Yeah.
And that constant movement, I always wondered, for us, we're lucky enough, our mom made that commitment to get a home and raise us there for our whole lives.
Right on.
So we know what it's like to have the same neighbors, and village raise a child thing like that. We're products of that. And I see how valuable that is. And
yes,
I always wondered, like these kids who come in, I see them 3rd grade, 4th grade, they're gone. Not just military kids. There's a lot of these kids, local kids, who do this too.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So is that why you have that identity piece that you're talking about? Because you think, basically what I'm asking is, as a Kanaka, how important is place?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. It's very important. I think it's more important in a very different sense now to modern Kanaka, because it is a matter of respect, right? You're claiming a specific area because there is this stigma in Hawaii that if you're from the west side, then you act like this, you look like this, you talk like this, right? And if you're from the east side, or you're probably the complete opposite, you're more than likely, you know? So
we know the stereotypes.
Yeah, and you see the difference. If you go down to Waianae, you go down to the east side, you can see the difference, So it's not coming from nowhere. But I think that people take that to heart, like it is very important to people that like, oh, if you're not from Waianae, you've been on a safe Waianae. Me, I feel like I have earned my place there. I didn't just, up one day and was like, from Waianae, what's up, west side? Oh. No, I lived there for more than 10 years. So it was a good portion of my life. I graduated from Waianae High School, sea right for life,
there
baby. That's why I'm saying.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Well, you get the hat, the dub on the dashboard.
I've had a couple, yeah. No. I use my papales now. I put them, the papales is all on the dashboard.
hey, Sea Riders is one of the schools that, Hawaii schools in general, but Sea Riders, Kahuku, I can think of these schools that like school pride is peak.
Exactly.
Peak school pride. So, I mean, you can see a rider.
But I mean, like, as far as, I think that it also comes from our kupuna as well, and what we've learned of our past, and the trauma that is still there for us as Kanaka, for the overthrow of the Kingdom of Hawaii, and I think that that's where a lot of that comes from as well, because it's like we're not only claiming that we are from Hawaii, we are now a melting pot. We've been a melting pot of so many different cultures that it's very difficult for Hawaiians specifically to be able to, this is ours. This is what is us. It's hard for us to, Samoan, Tongans, like Maori, they're so strong and rooted in their culture and their language, very important, their language. So having a specific place that you come from is important. It is. I believe that fully. There's a lot of reasons why I say I didn't have an identity growing up, but that is definitely one of them. Yes.
But even you were always here though.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, born and raised. Yeah.
The granular piece of like this neighborhood, that zip code, but you was here though.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And what were you doing? You're beach going? I mean, what kind of kid?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It was, I was a fish. Like, if I had it any other way. It's so funny. Like as an adult now, I don't ever go to the beach, and it's so shame.
How come? Nah, but that's the modern Kanaka right there.
Don't see that. No.
Okay, sorry, modern Kanakas, don't come after me. But a lot of people don't go to the beach as much as they should.
Yeah. No, it's because we're adulting. That's why we got to do all these things. There's so many. It's this day and age, like you don't have time to go to the beach. Even as a single person with no kids, with no real attachments to anything super important outside of my immediate family, like it's still impossible for me to get that time to really like. But I take that is very important to me though. I try my best to invest in myself, which is what you see.
Hey, we can get into all the accolades, but as a kid though, you was what? You was surfing, you was fishing, you was...
I was getting into scraps, guys.
Scrapping, yes.
Into scraps.
And what was the record?
I tell you one thing, like nobody ever came out and said they ever touched me.
Oh, okay. So like,
Oh,
boom.
man.
What would cause a scrap
Always,
for
always.
young Hazel?
I was very, very heavily, severely bullied as a kid. So I went through a lot of personal stuff, right? Again, we'll talk about that. But just to keep it on this topic, I grew up being very, very bullied. A lot of it was because of my eyes. So I've always had a hard time with my eyes because I got the opportunity and the blessing to go to a Hawaiian immersion school. So I went to Ke Kula Kaiapuni o Anuenue. And that's basically where the bullying started for sure.
Because you're not Hawaiian enough.
Yeah, because I'm a Haole girl. That's why apparently I look more Asian than anything. I don't know. Sometimes I look Puerto Rican. Sometimes I look Asian. I hope I look Hawaiian shit.
Depending on the angle and lighting. We all get a little bit chameleon in us.
Yeah,
You know
that's what I'm talking about. Oh, man.
We multi-ethnic people over here in the islands.
There's no such thing as not at this point. Like, if you are full-blooded anything, congratulations. Because that's...
Does that even exist?
Exactly. Like,
yeah, right. I mean... Okay, before we open that can of worms.
Yeah. Trying to keep it like...
Not Hawaiian enough, or the eyes maybe were the root of bullying.
Yeah, there's definitely jealousy. There was, because the girls was always envious. I didn't know that I was pretty until my 20s.
20s? That's a long time.
Yeah, she traumatized.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll get into that. So bullying, scrapping, what about your friendships?
Unfortunately, oh man, that's crazy because I've been reflecting hard on that lately. Like that's been really on my mind lately. But I think like I've had 3 good girlfriends in my life. They were all during high school when I was at Waianae. One was my sister in Christ. She's very, very important to me till this day. Always will be my sister. Shout out La'i, Shaylin Williams. I love you, girl. I haven't seen you in a long time, but I miss you. She was very important, is very important to me. She was my hula sister, and she was pretty much the first person to very adamantly drag my ass into church. Because girl needed it, apparently. She was like...
She knew.
She knew.
That was a scrap you wasn't ready for. Huh?
No.
Yeah.
And she's a short little thing, too, with the biggest attitude. So, hey, whatever you say, sis. Like,
so she dragged you in there, and that's what, the basis of your friendship or your relationship with her?
Yes. Yeah. So we were friends for a good long while. I'm not saying that we're not now, but we've definitely grown apart, being adults. And she get bebes now. But I wish her nothing but love and abundance in her life, blessings all day. But she is very important to me. She will always be. That was just one of those situations. I believe she's still in Waianae too. So, and I started moving to like more, pretty much after high school. Yeah, I want to say after high school, I had to leave Waianae because you got to. Like the traffic, trying to get a job, all those things was hard. I think that was the main reason why me and her fell off, basically.
Distance.
Yes.
Logistics.
Exactly. I had 2 other girlfriends. One was a horrible influence on me. Absolutely horrible. So I will not even go into that. We ended the way it needed to end. And the other one, unfortunately, she was probably my closest friend, my best friend in high school. And we kept in touch for a good while after. And then one day she kind of just up and told me that she just wasn't able to do the friendship thing anymore. Like she was going another direction too. So I guess it's kind of the same, like we're adults now, got different lives we're leading. Yeah. So ever since then, yeah, she's still hurt in here.
Well, the friendship piece, because I only bring it up because you said bullying.
Yeah.
And I know kind of being on both sides, if you will. Like I've seen bullies and I've seen bullying and experienced a bit of each myself. Mm-hmm. That's really the saving factor in the whole bullying picture is the support system.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's why I ask about friends. And I don't know, sometimes the bully becomes friends with the person they're bullying. Sometimes a scrap brings people close together in a weird way.
Yeah, no, I see what you mean.
What
Yeah,
I mean?
no, absolutely. I unfortunately, like, oh man, I got dished out some crazy cards just in life in general. And all that time till this day, I can honestly say, outside of my mom and my sister, I've been doing it. And God. Jesus first.
Most High.
Yeah, Most High first. I've been doing it by myself all my life. So it's been just me getting it done.
Is there a certain promise that you made to yourself?
In regards to...
Just in that, when you're in that pressure tank and maybe you don't have that much support, I think that dialogue is internalized. And then that's kind of the pressure cooker that creates that resilience, or like, I'm going to do that, or I will never do, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it definitely put some boundaries up for me. There's been many times where I went down the wrong path. I made a lot of mistakes. I did a lot of things that I'm not proud of. And I can say now as an adult, thank goodness, I'm thankful for my younger self of going through all the things that I've gone through, because now as an adult, I still make stupid mistakes, of course, but I'm able to navigate them better, and it doesn't define who I am, because I know exactly who I am now. And with what you were saying, that's exactly how it is. Absolutely. Everything. Oh, that saying how they're always like, God gives his, hardest battles to his strongest warriors. Like, Jesus, I'm good. We're good here. I'm strong. She's good.
You've been in battles.
I've been.
Battle tested.
Warrior.
Soldier.
Soldier.
On that note, I do want to address the soldier piece. Because how does a Hawaiian turn into a soldier? I'll let you, how does that happen? And for you, why did that piece fall into place?
I really love the way you worded that, because specifically, first and foremost, there was a couple of things that happened. My first and foremost reason why I joined the Hawaii Army National Guard is because I felt helpless in my situation. I didn't have a path. I tried to go to school. I'm not, I don't learn that way, sitting in a class and stuff like that. So college is really hard for me. But I did try, I attempted it. With everything that we went through in my life, my family and stuff like that, when I graduated high school, the grind was on. That was it. I was working 3 jobs, trying to go to college at the same time, got burnt out, was like, okay, this is not it. And the missile crisis thing happened. You guys remember that?
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that.
That was so just like, if you didn't feel helpless in that situation, what are we going to do? We're on an island. What are we going to do? So I was angry and I was scared, and I was like, okay, I need to be in a position where I can at least have some information, and I need to be taught, what do you do in this kind of situation? Because I'm over here, my family all the way in Waianae, and the last words from me to them was, oh, okay, well, I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay, I'll catch you later.
It was probably yes, sir.
Yes. Shoot. Catch you guys on the other side.
That alert made all of us have some existential.
Everybody was shishing their panties. Don't even lie. Come on.
So what, you're seeking of that safety then, or?
Not so much safety, but it was more like, for me, even though I'm not a book smart person, I'm very intelligent in my own way. I'm very street smart. And one of those things is being street smart, being a survivalist. I don't like the feeling of not knowing what my exit plan is and what I'm going to do. I'm a fighter. I'm not trying for I've had enough time not fighting back in certain situations. So that felt to me like, I don't like that. No, because what we're not going to do is, that's not how I'm going to end my story. I don't think so.
What we're not going to do is be vulnerable and uninformed.
Exactly. Like that, I just felt like, okay, well, that was one step towards the concept because my sister had joined before me. She's 3 years younger than me. And so she joined, and then she'd been trying for years to get me to join. And it just wasn't in my field of vision. And then that happened. So I was like, you know what, let me try. Let's look in this direction. Let's see what are the benefits, right? What are the good things that I can get out of this? Well, I won't be homeless anymore. You know, I will have food in my stomach. I have a roof over my head. Might be able to get myself a car. Those definitely were moving factors. The real depth of it to me was I recognized in that moment, you know, that whole thing that happened with the missile, I recognized like it's not about me like saving my own ass. I didn't like the fact that nobody knew what to do. I didn't like that my people didn't know what to do. I didn't like that we were on an island and I didn't, you know, like that bothered me. So when I joined, I specifically joined one, knowing my kupuna was with me, knowing my aumakua is with me, having that strength and that knowledge in knowing exactly who I am, like I said, because it's taken a long time for me to get to that point where I know who I am. I know that I am Kanaka always. And when I joined the military, when I joined the Hawaii Army National Guard, I knew that I was defending my Hawaii. That is the reason that I joined, because I took it upon my shoulders to say, if anyone is going to sign a dotted line to say that they would give up their life, I'm right here, I promise you. I would absolutely do it without a second thought.
So it was it easy then? It was like a no-brainer, yeah?
It pretty much was, yeah. Like once I put it into that perspective, because before that, of course, it was a struggle going back and forth. Like, well, what's the real reason for me to do something like this? And then when I put it in that perspective, it was a no-brainer. I was like, I would give my life for any of you guys. It's the same reason why I fight. I fight for my people. I fight for us. I fight for my Hawaii. And I will say, relationally, I'm very disappointed.
Why?
Because I have not received that same support in return. Sorry, guys. I have to say
Drop
that.
it.
I got to. You guys, like one thing I really wanted to talk about with you guys was the lack of support that I got. And we can save it for later, but that is something we need to talk about, is the lack of support I got after all of the beautiful things that just happened.
No, I mean, what is it? Bring them up. Drop the mic again.
Well, okay, I wasn't sure if we was going to talk about the fight stuff later.
Oh, that's the fight
stuff.
Okay, yeah. We will save the juicy part for segment two. Let's not forget to bring up this.
Absolutely.
The lack of support. The lack of support, right?
Yes, lack of support.
Haterades,
bruh.
Lovers and haters.
Absolutely. Yep.
How do you handle? Well, okay, we'll save the juicy part, the fighting stuff.
Sorry.
But you know, one thing that's clear, what is this, 30-ish minutes in, like, you've been fighting.
Absolutely.
You've been
from
fighting.
day one. From day one.
The ring thing sounds recent, but you've been fighting.
Yes.
Are there, before we leave this sort of childhood origins segment, are there any regrets that you have now looking back? Like yelling at, in Interstellar, you know what I mean? Yelling at yourself. Like,
yeah.
Like if that was you, like, what are you yelling at younger you?
I don't think I could call it regrets necessarily. Because if you live with regrets, then you're going to be always regretting everything you do. Like most of the stuff that we go through in our lives, we of course regret it, because say me at 19 versus me now at 30, I'm not the same person. I've lived multiple lives, so I don't think I could say regrets. I could say I love the idea of talking to my younger self, because that little girl was alone and scared and traumatized and just without any kind of protection whatsoever. And so she didn't have any choice in being strong or not. That was what it was. That's the cards that I got dealt. So if I were to, there's been a lot of moments where I've been shamed about what I've done in my past, how I've lived my life. I recognize that I have to give myself a lot of grace because I've been through a lot of things. So I wouldn't say regrets, I would say I just wish that she had a solid foundation, really. I wish that she had people around her that were for her, not against her, not predators, you know. I wish that she had safety.
Which is a fight that you're involved in, and we will get into that for those people who are going through it the way you did.
Yeah.
Before we jump into the deep end with mental health, is there anything, I asked if you had like regrets, you said no, really, but instead of addressing a younger you, how about a younger you, someone that a younger you might have affected? Is there any kind of overdue apologies that a current Hazel feels like, man, I need to, is there any of those?
Yeah, I could say that. I think that I would have to apologize, if anything, to no one specifically, more just anyone who had to deal with me at that time in my life, specifically in my high school days. My high school days, I was a menace to society. I was absolutely terrible. And because of that, I know there's a lot of people who, like, I was never the type of person to hurt people or anything like that. But I don't know how to explain that. It's more like a general, I'm sorry you had to witness this part of me. Like this time in my life where I'm just all over the place like that. You know, like I'm not who I am now. So if there was an apology to be made, actually, I would apologize to my sister, to be honest, my younger sister. She is my rock. She is everything to me. She really was in the thick of everything with me growing up, literally in the trenches with me. So like, that's my we call them battle buddies in the army. That's my battle buddy for life. So if there was any apology, I would say probably her, because we will get into that. There's a lot of things that we went through together. And I'd say if anyone deserved an apology, it would be my younger sister.
This whole project is built on a sibling relationship. So I get it without specifically getting it. I get it. We're two brothers from Hawaii, and this channel is our opportunity to tell stories around the world. If you have a place, a city, an event, or a story that you think we should experience and you can help make the travel possible, there's a connect form in our site linked below. And if it makes sense, we'll reach out. Thanks for watching. Back to the episode. Let's respectfully and with the right amount of sensitivity jump into mental health. It's one of those topics that is so prevalent, but it feels like there's a disproportionate ratio of how prevalent it is to how public it is.
Absolutely.
There's a huge gap.
Huge.
And so I do want to make an attempt to bridge that gap with someone who been through the trenches, depending how we define it, still in the trenches. From my point of view, with my experience and exposure to mental health issues, in some way I don't even want to use the word issues, because it's like it is what it is.
Yes. Yeah.
But I do want to take this segment to really allow you to share your piece on mental health from your experience and how that really affects the larger picture of speaking about these kind of things. So first and foremost, how are you feeling just jumping into this issue?
I think that this is probably the most important thing that we're going to talk about, hands down, in this. I was very, very, I have been, I've always known I've had to talk about this eventually, but I'm very nervous about it, because when you are someone who is breaking barriers and breaking down walls, it's terrifying to know that I am a very outspoken person and I will talk about mental health. I've been trying my hardest to study in my own way, myself, my family, people with disabilities. I've tried my hardest to kind of study what is keeping it sensitive to us without enabling us. I suffer from PTSD, so depression, anxiety, right? I come from, unfortunately, my father had a background of schizophrenia, bipolarism, multiple personality disorder. So that's already in the family genes, unfortunately. That's already scary to say. That's already terrifying right there, because just hearing that alone is like, oh, you got issues. Yeah, you got problems.
There's a stigma just with those labels that you said.
100%. Mm-hmm. So it's scary to even talk about it, because that's probably the biggest couple about talking about mental health is everybody's like, we don't talk about that because that's going to make you look bad. You can make the family look bad. Like it's not proper. We don't want people to know our business. And that's probably the worst thing I feel like we've done to ourselves as a whole in society, is making that feel like it's wrong to talk about when everybody goes through it. You're not telling me that you haven't in some way, shape, or form experienced some kind of trauma. You haven't experienced some kind of loss. You haven't experienced some kind of pain. Where do you think mental health comes from?
These are human things.
Exactly.
The human experience.
Just the human experience, man. Like there's just levels to it. That's really what it is. There's levels, there's depth to how many protective walls can your mind put up? You know, how much do you allow yourself to feel and think about the things that you've been through? How much do you allow yourself to openly admit? I've gone through so many things in my life that specifically right now, so I'm so thankful that we're here talking about this, because I am currently going through a season of depression. One of a really heavy one for me after a win. I just accomplished something huge, and I'm going through a very deep depression right now. And I'm saying that publicly, and that's terrifying, but that's so real.
How does a win trigger depression?
Because the scary thing about being someone of worth, a public figure, a celebrity, or whatever you want to call these people nowadays, influencers, people who are known, right? The scary thing about that is you don't know them.
Strangers.
They're strangers.
Stranger danger.
Strangers. Social media has turned us all into the best of friends. But if I see you on the side of the road, you don't know me. But I am here on a public stage and I have to keep a smile on my face because that's what you do, right? Why would I want to perpetuate more sadness? Why would I want to perpetuate more anger? Why would we want to deal with those kind of feelings, right? We need to, but unfortunately, the way of the world, right, that peer pressure is, no, we'd rather see you smile. You can get the likes, you can get the views, you can get the support. Keep a smile on your face. And that's why I'm such a smiley person. It actually really pisses me off. Can't stand when people say, oh my God, you got to smile more, or oh, you don't smile enough. Baby, I couldn't get out of bed this morning.
Would you say your smile is one of the barriers that you've built?
Yeah, absolutely. Because I'm a very angry person. Correction, I am angry. I'm not an angry person. That's not who I am fundamentally. But I am angry. I'm angry at everything that I've ever been through. I'm angry at all the things that is going on in the world. I'm angry at so much, you know. That anger had to be dealt with in some way. So that anger stems from my sadness. That unbearable pain and sadness that gets just to be too much. What do you do with that? If you can't pull it together, you won't get out of bed. So it's anger. Because at least with that, I can channel that somewhere. Sadness will keep me crippled. Anger potentially, propel me somewhere and fuel me and do something with it. But then nobody wants to see an angry person. Nobody wants to see someone who is constantly and consistently swearing at everybody and mad, angry face and all of that. Nobody likes those kind of people, right? I don't give a fuck about being liked. If I did, I wouldn't be able to do anything that I'm doing, for sure. I wouldn't have survived everything I've gone through if I gave a shit about what anybody thinks about me. But there is just that veil over everybody's eyes that say, no, you got to be likable. You got to be digestible. You got to be happy, especially if you're going to be in a public eye. You know, make us feel good. Because what is the point of you if you're not, right?
You're saying sadness, it's levels. We understand there's levels to the human experience. These are natural parts of the human experience. Sadness, anger, combined depression, happiness, all of the pressure, peer pressure. These are all parts of the experience, but there's levels. You are saying that your sadness, you're basically being an alchemist. You're like, I have so much sadness. I need to turn it into anger, which is a fuel that I can use to power me through things that consequentially put me in the spotlight. Have a bunch of strangers looking at me and basically voicing their expectations on me. And now this fucking weight of stranger expectation, it's just another level of, what does it do? Sadness, anger, expectation. How much other complex things that I'm not seeing are you handling right now?
Oh my God, yeah. That's honestly, I can't even explain how thankful I am to be able to talk about this, because when I say I'm literally, something about this win really just like put me over the tipping point. Like I've been through, I would say it's called seasonal depression. I don't really like labels and stuff like that, but if I had to say something, it would be seasonal depression, because I'm not consistently always incapable, you know, like otherwise, again, I wouldn't be able to do all the things I do. I'm capable of being functional. But when I say that the biggest hardship I've ever had in my life is knowing that I am someone who's been through the kind of things that I've been through, and that I do deal with, all of these stressors, you know, and all of these emotional and mental issues, and not having any kind of real support, dealing with it on my own and being as strong as I have for so long. Man, it's a lot. It's a lot. Just this, yeah.
I would like to, at least for whatever it's worth, give you permission to let that load off, even if it's momentarily, seasonally, temporarily, because that's a lot for any one person. And with the information that you've already shared that is public, you're already carrying a lot since a young age. Yes, that pressure can produce things that you've already shown us that you can produce. But what's the cost? And I think we're starting to figure it out more because of these conversations. Because of this, forget the kapu, right, that we talked about. Don't expose our family like that. Don't expose this image that you know from social media and screens.
Exactly.
That doesn't belong with that. But no. That is because of these things that we're not talking about.
Well, because there is a certain responsibility that we hold as well, for people who have been through the things that we've been through, people who have been through like really severe traumas. Not saying that pain is not, you know, it's not equal, but it's also not measurable either.
It's super subjective.
I cannot ever say that what you've been through doesn't compare to what I've been through. Like, I would never do that anyways. But, you know, I think that one of the biggest problems is that, sorry, give me a second.
Go, take your time.
Kind of got to reset. I want to talk about this very I want it to hit home for people, but it is such a difficult thing to even talk about. There's a certain level of responsibility that you have as someone who's been through the things I've been through, to also know that other people who have been through what I've been through might not be able to handle talking about it. They might not be able to handle thinking about it. They may not be able to handle, and at the same time, we want to give grace. We want to be sensitive, but we also, like I said before, we don't want to enable. I feel like people not talking to me about those kind of things enables me to not talk about it. Easier for it to just be like, yeah, stuff's in the past already. Like, rubbish.
Well, what happened then? Why are we even here having this conversation?
What do you mean?
That can get us to this point where we can talk about it. From something that, let's address the people who might feel like everything she's saying is making me want to share as well. But I don't know how. And there is a certain amount of, like you said, it's hard to measure.
It's like a tact. There's a grace that you have to.
Exactly.
I think, honest to God, so there's this one, I won't name her anything, but there's this girl, my friend, I just recently met her, but she's Kanaka. She is very, very just vocal about everything and anything. She's a very strong woman, and I love the way she speaks about things plainly, the way it is. I would love to be able to talk about that. I would love to be able to talk about mental health bluntly and plainly as someone who's been through it, bluntly and plainly. I think it gives you the opportunity to be able to face those emotions when you say it is what it is. This is what happened. These are facts. And now we got to deal with, the after effects. But not everybody can take that, though. Most people can't take that.
The
most
bluntly
people,
and plainly approach.
Yeah, most people can't. I wasn't going to bring this up, but my mom actually decided that she was going to make a short film in regard, like talking about our lives and stuff like that. Yeah, that was a really big thing for me and my family. So she's putting a portion of our story and our lives for people to see. She's working on getting like investment for the movie and stuff like that. Because she decided to do that, it pretty much forced the conversation open. The door is wide open now. So when people see that, it's like, no, we have to talk about this conversation because look at what this film just portrayed. And it is not, like, it comes with a trigger warning for a reason,
How do you even make a film? That's always the thing I have in my head is like, how do you make a film, for example, 2 hour? How does 2 hours represent 2 decades, right? How does
it? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It takes a lot. I mean, especially when you have to like recreate the situations, the scenarios that happened. Me and my mom and my youngest sister, we were all there on the set for it. My mom not only wrote, directed, produced, but she also acted in it herself. And so there is very strong content in there. I'm so ridiculously proud of her because no amount of acting could portray the real emotion that she shows in the film. It's crazy. You, like everything else we've ever had to do in our lives, is kind of just like fighting, you know, like we have to just bite down and realize this is important and there's a reason why we had to do this. Again, this was my mom's project. She decided to do this. I was not fully like in that space yet. And I'm glad she did because it kind of, like I said, gave me that push like that. Like I said, I've always known with the things that I do, there was always going to be a time where I would eventually have to talk about this stuff. So
the movie is one way. It's your mom's effort. What other efforts are you making to talk about this?
This is my first time really ever speaking about this publicly, like vocally speaking about this. I posted about it at the beginning of my fight. Mm-hmm. It just so happened to go back into the archives. One of my friends, I say the word friends, mm-hmm. my acquaintances, my peoples, I guess. She sent me a video of something I'd put up on Fight Story. Angela Lee them. And it was like a rough, you know, me just throwing information out there. Yeah, this is kind of like what I've been through. And they ended up publishing it on the website. And I didn't know that until the beginning of my fight camp. She sent it to me and I was like, oh my God, I got to share this. Like, there's no way I can't share this. This is so important.
Could you, for those who don't know, who haven't seen that, I've seen the article on that site.
Yeah.
But for those of us who don't, and also I want to take this moment because to sort of be a bit vulnerable on my end, because I read the site. I've done some research of what's publicly available. And I'm just like, how do I even address anything without reopening wounds? I feel so like limited because I don't want to. It's
impossible. It's impossible to talk about this stuff without reopening. Like, and it really just depends on who you're. So you're talking to me right now, right? You're talking to me. This is what we're talking about. I'm here. Me, I'm not like most people. I can be blunt about it. We can talk about, you know, I mean, you got to be more direct, but like we can literally talk about whatever it is and I will tell you exactly what it is. But I mean, most people, when you bring up these kind of sore topics, it is a lot. Absolutely. I have done so much work on myself and it's still so uncomfortable, you know?
Yes. But if you want to speak bluntly and have your control, this is me looking at Hazel face to face, right?
Yeah.
And the screens are gone already. But however bluntly and plainly you want to say your story.
Okay. I mean, I guess I would say, first and foremost, my dad was an ex-Marine. So he was, from what I know of Marines, they're a little crazy. They're kind of crazy for a reason, you know? So I believe that had something to do with his mental health because he was clearly struggling. So my introduction to mental health and depression started from way before I should have ever known what the hell that was, you know? And it was never given a word. It was never given a label. It was, I watched my dad do things that were not okay. I experienced him and I saw that he was depressed. I saw that he was manic. I saw that he was not okay and he was struggling with everything. And I think I might get it from him in that I am capable of completely hiding that from the world. It's something he did teach me to do, you know, right? Hiding bruises. Oh, I fell down the stairs. You know, my teacher's asking questions. That is the life of being abused, right? You're constantly lying. You gotta hide it, right? And not for yourself, but for him, because he don't want to get in trouble. He doesn't want to go to jail. And that's exactly what would happen to him. So yeah, he was an ex-Marine, and he got out actually by attempting suicide or something to that effect. Yeah, and so I don't know how he did it, but he got out, finagled his way out of there. The reason why I bring that up is because he treated me and my sister as if we were military brats. And so our form of punishment, if it wasn't being abused the way we were being exercised until we could not stand. Like, it was one of the heaviest reasons why I'm so into fitness. It's just normal for me. So there was that. There was a lot of psychological torture. There was a lot of I think that was probably the hardest part, is the psychological stuff. He used to have me stand right in front of him, just like this, right? You're sitting on that couch, and I would stand right in front of him, and he would have just me stand there for hours, just standing there at attention while he lectures me for hours and hours and hours and hours. And then once I'm over here literally like nodding off standing, then he would beat my ass like a drum. And then he would proceed to have me exercise until he felt like he was finally done. That's the kind of stuff that I lived with growing up. Me and my sister, we were, unfortunately, like, before my love for fighting and whatnot, we were pinned up against each other. He consistently had us fight each other. So we were constantly scrapping each other and like full on scrapping each other for his entertainment. So yeah, there was a lot of weird stuff like that.
What was mom doing during these times?
What could she do? She went to work. She came home. She cleaned house. She would take care of my sister, because for some reason, me being the oldest, and that's the other thing about the way my dad was, is he was quote unquote traditional. He wanted his firstborn to be his son. And so he raised me like I was a man. Everything, down to the way I dressed. I was not allowed to wear women's clothing. I was like, I realize now, after certain things that he did, that it might have been more for his sake, but he would literally have me dress in men's clothing, and I did everything with him. And I think the most messed up part about it is the fact that he treated me as if I was his friend. Yeah. Very confusing for me, because he called me his wingman, and I did everything with him, and I was his boy. So his way of having a relationship with me was to mercilessly mock me. Like, I've been called every derogatory, slanderous, disgusting name you could possibly think of. And that was his way of relating to me. You know how like local people real kind, like the way we joke around and stuff, or even like military, you know, like the way we joke around is a little bit harsh, a little bit tough love, you know. His style was like, beat me into the ground in every possible way you could. Physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, all of the things. He was also an atheist. So it was, it was a lot of different things. It was very confusing growing up in that. I think that's probably the biggest thing, is so confusing. Like, the opening scene to my mom's film, and just a distinct memory that I have in my brain that I'll never be able to forget, is every time I came home from school, I would be so fucking scared to go in the house. And we had like this little, I don't even know what you call it, this little stairs going up to the front door. And I would sit there and I would shake from head to fucking toes. Like, I would not be able to move past that first step. It would take me a good fucking like 15, 20 minutes before I could finally get the courage to open the door. And sometimes he would just fucking pop up on me at the door like he knew I was waiting out there. I just didn't have that, you know, I didn't have it yet to get in the house because I didn't know what the hell I was going to greet. I didn't know. There were times where he was lucid. There was times where he was very calm and he acted like a dad. There were times where he was sweet and comforting. And there was times where he actually treated me as if I might be his daughter. Majority of the time though, it was absolutely fucking terrible. Like, he would be calm one moment and then he would be breaking the whole house the next. So it was a constant, you know, we talk about surviving, like that's why I do so well in the Army. Because when you have to fall asleep in your own bed and you can't because you don't know if you're safe, because you are not safe. Yeah.
Thank you for sharing. What you've described feels like a horror movie. And I cannot, my brother and I are girl dads. So that's one of the, almost as strong as like a motivator is like a fear. And like, I don't want to be a shit dad. And when I hear stories of other dads, especially father-daughter relationships, that's a soft spot for me. And I can't imagine what you and your sister and mom, that scene about the stairs was the most vivid to me. Sorry that I even prompted you to relive that.
I think we need to, like I said, that enabling, that's that enabling. Don't apologize for it. Let's talk about it. You pulled, and even still, it's not like, I'm not even connecting with the words I'm saying right now. That's how I have to talk about it, publicly at least. I know that there will be certain things that we say that will trigger the floodgates, and I'm just waiting for it. But I am capable of talking about this stuff the way I am because I've had a lot of time to live through it and to work through a lot of things. One thing I would like to say to the public, I know not everybody feels the same way, but we got to stop. If we're going to have these conversations, we got to stop apologizing for reliving this, because I think the most cathartic thing I've ever done in my life, the most healing I've ever experienced in my life, has been facing all of those scary things. They're fucking terrifying. They're fucking terrifying. There's grown men who wouldn't have been able to handle the things that I've been through. Mm-hmm. But that is the way I take on everything. I don't know if it's the most healthy way. I think that, they implement it in therapy. My mom went through certain EMDR and certain types of therapies, and that is what they'll make you do. My mom's, I bring her up a lot because she has probably done the most work on herself out of all of us. Mm. So I've gotten to experience what it's like to see her going through therapy and whatnot. And a couple of the things is, my dad liked Monster And he liked beef stew. And so those are two things that trigger my mom because there was instances attached to it. She had to literally drink Monsters for like a month. This is something that her therapist was working with her. She had to drink Monsters for a month. She had to freaking eat beef stew, for the first time since. Like those are the ways that actually make change in someone who's been through the kind of things that we've been through. I can't say that everybody is in the right place to do that. Because it takes a lot of strength to do that.
You're years removed from some of the examples you said.
Yes, that too. Yeah, right? Absolutely.
But how do you determine when to revisit these things?
Well, that's on you completely. Nobody can tell you. I appreciate, like I said, that little push that I believe that we need to do for people who, I experience severe depression. When I say yes, seasonal, it comes and goes. But when I am down, I'm down. And nobody knows how bad it is. Not even my own family. If anything, to be honest, I think the most toxic thing about us is that we do know how severely depressed we all are.
Do you talk about it with your mom and sister today? Do you relive it?
Oh, yeah.
Together?
Yeah. Our defense mechanism is to fucking joke about everything. Like everything is a traumatic ass joke. So that's how we talk about it. That's why I say, it takes a tremendous amount of strength and you have to be in the right place for yourself to be able to even do that. Not everybody is ready for that. Not everybody is fully capable. There are people who go through their whole lives without ever having healed those wounds.
I was going to ask if comedy, because you talked about smile being sort of a barrier that you build up.
Yeah.
Comedy is right there. Comedy is adjacent.
Absolutely, yeah.
And it is a defense mechanism.
Yeah.
And when you're saying you're making these jokes, how about when you hear a clip online or a comedian and they're making a joke about something that's like, fuck, that was me. Talking about a father, an abusive father, but it's a joke and people are laughing.
There are certain things because I have a really good sense of humor. I think mainly because of the fact that he would roast me the way he did. So on the one hand, sucked because fuck you, that was a really shitty thing you did to me, especially as a little girl. I don't have that kind of humor anyways as a girl.
Right.
But I had to just learn how to do it. And every once in a while, the best thing he did for me was every once in a while, he'd let me fire back. Oh, yeah? I got him in the chamber for you.
So you built that.
So I built that ability to laugh about things that are so not laughable. Going back to what you said, though, yes, there is definitely... I have a really good sense of humor, so most of the time it rolls off my back. There are certain things, though, that I will fucking when that button is pushed, there is no filter, for sure. There is no pulling me back. That's the scary thing about it, is as much as I'm capable of handling, and that's that kind of comfort, oh, she's such a good humor. So we can joke about anything. And then every once in a while you say something and I will lose my fucking shit, So that's hard because why would I be able to take those jokes and not be able to take this joke? That's not your fault. That's something I got to deal with.
And we were talking about exposure.
Yeah.
Is a form of healing. Could you say re-exposure to a traumatic event, your mom's beef stew example?
It is. Yeah, absolutely.
For everything? Where's the limit on that?
That's definitely... I didn't go through it in the same sense that she did. I never traditionally went to therapy like that because my therapy was always fighting, was always training, it was always getting in the gym. And so that was and I've had so many freaking freak out moments in a physical contact sport. Mm-hmm. Whereas I am already someone who has been physically violated in so many different ways. So for me, that's probably the hardest thing about that, is reliving anything physical. specifically, of course, the sexual part, right? Like, I think the being hit is like such a minor word to even describe that. It's not even, there are no words to explain how bad it was, but being hit was not nearly as, it didn't stay with me as much as the sexual, that part is the hardest thing that I've ever had to get over. It's not something I've ever been able to really, there's no rules on that, you know? What the fuck do you do to get over something like that? You tell me. Like, and the hard thing is that there are so many, now we're speaking just about women. I know that men go through this too. I know a few men, but women, there's so many. I don't think you can find a woman who hasn't been sexually harassed or, you know, assaulted in some way. That's fucked to say, but that is true. So I think that it's become a part of our biological survival instinct that we know how to just kind of like deal with it.
But isn't that, see, I don't even know how to address this, right? Because in a way, not knowing how to deal with it, sweeping it under the rug is the enabling factor.
The suppression of it, it's knowing when is the right time to address something, I feel like. I think that there are certain things that I feel like there's certain things that I've been through that I'm not ready to deal with. Until, I don't know, maybe until I talk about it, or like, I kind of just, I don't know how to explain it. I kind of just live very present as I can be. Because if I'm not living present, that's usually when I'm going through it. If I allow myself to think of the future, to think of the past, to think of all the things that are out of my control, that's usually where I'm set in that depression. And it takes so much to get out of it, right? Coming back to present. What are we doing right now? What is the task at hand? What is something that I need to accomplish?
We're two brothers from Hawaii, and this channel is our opportunity to tell stories around the world. If you have a place, a city, an event, or a story that you think we should experience and you can help make the travel possible, there's a connect form in our site linked below. And if it makes sense, we'll reach out. Thanks for watching. Back to the episode. One thing that I'm going to repeat that I've heard, I don't know if you heard, do you watch Soft White Underbelly?
No.
YouTube channel. And it's kind of podcasty, but it's really just one guest and they're talking. A lot of times it's sexual assault victims. Sometimes it's just drug ring leaders, ex-convicts, all kinds of people who come from walks of life that's why it's called Soft White Underbelly, because it's kind of a vulnerable exposing of the real human experience. Yeah. And you can go down the rabbit hole on that because there's just so many conversations that happen, but this is like, oh, it's my first time hearing it firsthand from that person. Yeah. And so this is coming from that experience and hearing the testimony of women, victims, survivors, I should say, survivors of sexual assault. One thing that a theme that I've heard is the control piece. So not having control in the moment, yes, but afterwards, you don't have control of the past. And what you do have control of is right now. Yeah. I can go to the gym. I can sweat. I can work out. I can distract because I don't want to go. I don't want any silence because my mind will go back there. And there's nothing I can do about it. And so it's this weird, vicious feedback cycle of semi-avoidance, semi-distraction.
Yeah, absolutely.
But at the root was the control. How do you feel?
I think like absolutely, because I'd say those are my biggest flaws right there. Exactly what you listed, right? The distraction. Let me do anything I can do for me, it's not to to not have silence. I have become very good at being by myself. That is probably the main reason why I'm so functional, is because I know how to be by myself and deal with those scary things. I think I've dealt with majority of the things that would cripple me in public. I've been able to deal with on my own. So sitting with myself isn't a problem. I know it is for a lot of people though, but sitting with myself isn't an issue. I prefer being able to look something in its face, like my fears, right? That's something that I pride myself on because of being the type of person I am. I need to be able to, I'll tell you a crazy story. It's so off the wall, but just reminded me of that. My father actually, so he went to jail. We sent him to prison. It was my senior year in high school. And I can get into more detail later, but basically the story is that he went to jail and he was there for about 10 years. When he came out, scared the shit out of us. We were so fucking terrified. We were terrified for the 10 years. Like, it was exhausting, constantly looking over our shoulder and just being terrified all the time that, you know, he was going to come after us, which he swore up and down he would absolutely do. It was definitely something we needed to be cautious of. And the hardest part about that was, in that there was something dynamic that could happen. There was a closure there that could happen. Scary as fuck as it is, there was a closure to thinking, oh, he might come after me, right? So maybe I should be prepared. Okay, I'm gonna go dive into my training, since that already, you know, that already helps as it is. It gives me the endorphins and everything, but now I have a purpose, and that is to train myself to be so capable and aware and tactically, you know, like, just, I wanted to be so, like, if he were to jump up on me, I would just put him down, you know? That was the way I thought. Of course, I'm a girl. That man is freaking huge. He was a very scary man. He's trained in all types of different martial arts. He was huge. Back in the day, he was on steroids and stuff, but even coming out of jail, he was freaking yoked. So he was just absolutely terrifying. He's the only person in my life that I could ever say that I was genuinely scared of. One day, I couldn't handle it anymore. And I was just absolutely to the point where I was like, I can't keep looking over my shoulder. I was sitting in my house and I was just fucking twitching, like just feeling like he was gonna come in the front door, or that he saw me walking down the street, or, you know. And then what was worse was we were getting word back, like, from my grandparents. Oh, they bumped into him at Almoana. So one day I actually found out, public record, that he was staying in a halfway house, and I physically went down there and tried to call him out.
Not.
Swear to God. I only just told this to one of my commanders, but yeah, I physically went down. Don't get too excited because he didn't come out. Oh. But I wish. That would have been epic. Ooh. That would have been epic. That was the story ending I wanted. I wanted to end in a blaze of glory. If I'm going to die making sure I look you in the eye, you, my perpetrator, and I'm going to end you. Or I'm going to make sure that I go out in a blaze of glory. I promise you that. So, I went down to his halfway house. It was like, and stupid, it was like 2 in the morning. It was like 2 in the morning. And what was so creepy about it was the halfway house is right next to a graveyard. So, insane.
Foreshadowing.
Literally, like, walked down this freaking dark, crazy looking road. You know, there's convicts over here. So I'm like completely by myself. Never told my mom or my sister about it. Just fucking went down there and I lost my goddamn mind. I was like, if we're gonna do this, let's go. Let's do it then. Why am I gonna keep fucking looking over my shoulder after everything that you put me through? Why am I gonna keep doing this to myself? Why am I gonna keep having to worry about my family? You know? So yeah, I went down there screaming his name at the top of my lungs. And his car was there. I had all the information too. I made sure I did my research. I knew he was there. I knew he was home. I knew his girlfriend was there. I knew his car was there. Like the whole shebang. Screaming at the top of my fucking lungs. And he wouldn't come out. So unfortunately, I never got that ending that I wanted. And what's worse and so much more difficult to digest is that he finally passed away a couple years ago. So
there's no closure?
There's no closure. There's no fucking closure. There's nothing that I could do to really, truly have that, like, finality in it. But there are plenty more things that I know for a fact that I can do to keep healing, to keep moving forward. It's true though. I don't like, I know I have to say this because I don't want people watching this and being like, you are exhibiting exactly what you shouldn't be doing, which is avoiding, distracting, all of those things. But I am here.
Damn right. And you are sharing.
I am sharing. It's hard. It's a weird thing to have to even like you said before, you know, how do I address this? How do we even start talking about this? Like, and then for me, it's like, what do you exactly want to know? Because I could tell you a whole bunch of things that like, have you traumatized by it? And so I don't know.
I was over here tiptoeing. I was like, I don't know. She can probably lick me right now if she wanted to. Like, I was tiptoeing. All right.
Valid.
Yeah. My blood gonna be on these shoes too.
Yes.
I don't know.
No, valid.
Right? Comedy is easy for me too. Like, let's joke about it, but also this is not a joking matter. But am I enabling?
Yeah. I think, you know, for me, just for my personality, for my personality, the type of person I am, my sister, that's the way we are. We'll talk about it, like, but it's really difficult to navigate, like, when the emotional is actually even going to come out, like, so.
Well, I mean, what part of the healing process would you describe you're in right now?
Shucks, I don't even know. I tried going to talk therapy. I tried. I went to two different therapists, and it just never. It was like talking to a wall, and it just didn't make sense to me. Like, if we can talk about this, I can talk to my sister about this. I can talk to my mom about this. Same thing. But at least they're gonna give me feedback and maybe make me laugh. Like, talking to a therapist, my second therapist was very good. She gave me advice. She tried her best. But at the end of the day, it didn't shift anything in me. It wasn't moving anything around. Mm-hmm. There was still all this stagnant energy, all this trauma in my gut still, you know? And I think the only thing that has actually ever made a change in all of those things is the physical part, you know? Training, going to the gym. It's probably the only form of therapy that I've ever found that has been very healing and also has pushed me all the way into, like, mental breakdowns.
Because we're talking about mental health, and it's easy to think about health in terms of fitness and body, which is kind of sounding like it's your therapy to your mental health issue.
Yes. But
maybe that is a form of distraction, like we're saying, where that's addressing your physical. I know it's connected.
Yeah.
But even like you said, the psychological abuse.
It's still there. Yeah.
So what's the psychological training, or, you know, like, these are things I'm curious. And again, I like tiptoe and get fucking knocked out over here. But you know what I mean? Like, the psychological piece is what makes, to me, the scariest, but also most impactful, longest lasting, and hardest to help heal.
Yes.
So the healing process of the psychological piece,
it's the most important. Absolutely.
Is and you attempted therapy. You felt like you're hitting a wall. admittedly, I did the same thing. I felt like, what the fuck is this? Like, I didn't feel like
I think most minorities in general, we don't
is
like.
that what it is?
Honestly, I feel like it's minorities because of the fact that we were all kind of raised in that same way, like in an aggressive environment. Well, maybe not all of us, but you know, typically the people who are like most traumatized came through some stuff, and I feel like because of that, we were all taught the same thing, which is we don't talk about it. Why you can go to a stranger and go talk about it, you know? Or there's like, for me personally, it definitely was my dad. My dad was always, "Fuck, we're not going to no therapist." Like, but his reasoning was to just keep everything under wraps. That's why, because you know. But so I maybe that is why I don't relate with therapy. I don't really know if I gave it a fair chance.
Right.
You know, I have such a strong friend in me.
Hey, well, I think that was built. You were forged
100%. Like
in that childhood
Yeah.
to almost create your
absolutely.
your support system.
Yeah, absolutely. I am my biggest supporter. I'm my biggest hater too, but I am my biggest supporter for sure. Nobody could ever say that they are a bigger fan of me than me. And that's the other thing that I think, you know, one of my biggest healing is got to be the fact that I love me. I love me. Unfortunately, there's people who have tried so hard to take that away from me. And there's people who have actually tried to convince me that I don't, because I'm damaged, because I'm broken, because there's something wrong with me, because of the things that I've went through, because of what was done to me. That makes me unfixable. That makes me unworthy. That makes me what? That's ridiculous.
I think that person who relates with what you just said, what you sharing it and hearing that person who just heard you say it out loud, that really, that's part of the therapy. That's part of the psychological therapy, is connecting with that statement.
And that's the reason why I say, like, this is not for everybody. I fully encourage people to go to therapy, like, but do what you gotta do, because nobody can tell you how your mind works. Nobody can tell you exactly what the steps is to fix everything. There is no magic cure.
Hazel, in the interest of time, because I know my brother needs to get on, but we don't want to understate the gravity of what we're talking about. So as we close out this section, I just want to give you the stage, the mic, the opportunity to perhaps make that statement that you've been wanting to make, or express that feeling that you otherwise would have distracted yourself from. And let's see if that has any healing power for you.
Honestly, this is definitely healing. This is definitely healing coming up. You know, coming here with you guys and talking about it for sure. I would have to say, I think that the hardest thing about all of this, what I need to change, what I'm trying to be accountable for, but it's difficult, is that the main effect my mental health has had on my life is I am incapable of holding down a job. There's too many times it's almost like I'm still back there where I have to lie about everything, you know, like it's not just that it's not socially acceptable to talk about things like this. It's also damaging to specific platforms, which is crazy. You can lose a job for talking about this kind of stuff. You could lose your livelihood for talking about this kind of stuff. This affects me in every possible way, to the point where I've been labeled by my own family, by my own closest people who were supposedly supporters and friends. I've lost a lot of people along this journey, mainly because I've lost teams. I've bounced around from team to team, which is a big factor in my fight life, because people are like, what is up with you? What, you stink or something? Why are you leaving everybody like that? Because I can't hold down a job long enough without having some kind of mental breakdown. I am not in the same place that I was 5 years ago. I did attempt suicide. And in total, I think I attempted maybe 2 or 3 times. But 5 years later, I can't say that's not something that would not ever come back to me. Like, I pray for the day that I have to lose somebody, you know? I don't think that I would be able to navigate that without some serious support. But just in the day-to-day life, I'm incapable. That's fucking scary to say. I'm incapable of holding down a job because what do you say to your employer? I can't get out of bed today. I can't even, I am such a loving person. I'm someone who has such a giving heart. I'm in every way of my life, I'm in public service, or I try to be. How do I say I cannot come in today, even if it wasn't for the specific job that I have, but especially for my job? How can I say I can't come in today and literally provide therapeutic service to your child because I am incapable of even getting out of bed today? I am incapable of even seeing any kind of light in the world right now. That is probably the biggest thing that I need to impress on whoever it needs to be impressed on. There needs to be a better system in place for us. For people who are going through these kind of things, severe depression should not be overlooked. If someone says they are suicidal, don't just lock them up. You put them in a fucking psych ward, you throw away the key, and you tell them they're crazy. I'm not crazy. I am not crazy. I've been called crazy many times, and I will stand here and I will tell you I am not fucking crazy. I'm a very sane person. The grace that I give myself, there's a reason. It is because of the fact that everything that has happened to me, that was a travesty to me. I'm not a crazy person. I'm very sane. I'm very sweet. I'm very loving. I'm very caring. I'm very nurturing. I care so much about other people because of the things that I've gone through. So it should be treated like that in return. Why is it that I have to stay quiet about the things that I'm going through? Because I don't want to fucking lose another job. I don't want to be labeled as unstable. Because I have some kind of passion still left over in this dusty beating heart. That's crazy. Like, let me live. Let me feel something, because for the love of God, it takes everything to do so. I think that's probably the biggest impression I need to make, is the fact that I don't know how other people do it. I don't know how my mom does it. I don't know how my sister does it. I don't know how any of us do it, because I can tell you right now, it's not fucking working. I attempt to be an entrepreneur. I'm attempting to follow my passions and my goals. But I tell you right now, I can't even do that because I can't financially take care of myself. And the fucked up thing about that is me not coming forward and saying this is the reason why. Because yesterday I thought about ending it all. Because today I couldn't stop fucking crying for the whole damn day. Because tomorrow, whatever it is, the fact that there is nothing in place for me to be able to live a normal life anyways. I'm not allowed to talk about it. Honest to God, right now, when this airs and everything, I may not ever get hired again as a registered behavioral technician, and I'm very good. I'm very good at what I do. Like I said, I'm a very caring, nurturing person, And, things like being in the DOD, things like having a secret clearance, things like all of these things. I'm jeopardizing all of it by talking about this right now. By talking about these topics that need to be discussed, it needs to be talked about, it needs to be brought to the light. Like, I'm putting everything on the line for it because nothing is being done in return. I'm being left hang out and dry.
We needed to hear that collectively. Hawaii, the nation, anyone in mental health, anyone who's in these kinds of services, watch this. Send it to someone who needs to hear it, because Hazel just laid out the most impactful testimony. And I don't think a lot of, I'll speak for myself. I didn't realize until just now a lot of things. I'll rewatch this over and over again. But right now, I see the effect of you're not a crazy person.
Thank you.
You're a person who was in a crazy fucking situation.
Yes.
With crazy fuckers.
Yes.
And you came out of that. The environment and situation was what was happening, and Hazel's a part of it. Likewise, it gives me a bit of hope if that environment and situation around Hazel changes.
Yeah.
We can see that Hazel thrive. You already are thriving. I want to just restate that you're thriving in what you're doing, considering every crazy thing you've been through. And the fucking crazy part about coming out of that and being in an even more crazy situation about that you just laid out right now. When does it end? What is needed for this change? I hope this reaches the right people.
I do too.
Immediately here in Hawaii, and eventually ripple to where it needs to go. I really feel that in this day and age, it will reach the right people.
Really hope so.
So thank you so much. We're going to take a quick break and switch gears. This channel exists because we protect creative freedom. That also means we grow slower on purpose. If you're someone who thinks long-term and wants to help fuel what we're building without hijacking it, fill out the connect form on our website listed below. We check every submission, and if it makes sense, we'll reach out. Thanks for watching. Back to the episode.
Thank you so much. That was hard to listen and operate the cameras and sound while I was being so emotionally touched.
Oh my God, when there was like one time you kind of put your head down and I was like, don't do that. No, wait.
Yeah. So the two of us, I'm the emotional one.
Oh yeah? I see that.
Just to be honest.
The Pisces.
The Pisces.
Oh my gosh. Is that why you had to go second? Is it because you can make me cry?
No.
Say.
I think if I went first, I would have made you cry.
Okay. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. But that's why, so it's so neat because my brother and I, we allow these things to happen organically. Yeah. And when I asked him, I was like, I just thought I was going to have to attack the extremely sensitive part.
I see. Yeah.
That's kind of my forte. That's the waters in which I tread, all the time, like wherever I go. So I thought naturally it would make sense if I did the beginning. However, when I gave Kenji the opportunity, I also accepted the fact that he might say, I want to be first, which is what happened. So he picked being first because it was going to be uncomfortable for him.
Oh.
To put himself in that situation.
I'm so sorry.
No.
Now I feel bad.
It's not about that.
No.
We are challenging ourselves in this project and putting ourselves in uncomfortable situations so we can level up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And through all the adversity, through all the challenges, we intentionally do that to ourselves so that we can up our game.
See, I love that you said that because that's exactly what we were talking about. It's like, I get accused of being too tough because I am. I'm tough. I got thick skin, for certain things. Like, so what other way is there but through? Like, if we're not going forward, we're going backwards.
Yeah.
We're stuck. Like, so I'm absolutely here for it. And you know what? You guys are actually really helping me find some kind of strength and power in the idea of maybe other people do need to see me being strong about this, not just emotional, because that's very natural. It's very real. It's very necessary. The release of having to cry over something like this. But I think people also need to be able to see a strong woman telling you exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Because this is scary and this is freaking hard to talk about.
Well, trust me, I know what it's like to have strong women tell me what it is.
Let's go.
Also, the name. Remember, we want to visit that too.
Oh, God, yeah.
The name.
You got a name.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I just want to say this real quick. I think your testimony is proof that the smile, the makeup, your outward appearance, your presence, a lot of times when it's bigger than life, it's hiding a lot of pain. It harbors a lot of the stuff that you don't want to address. So like Kenji said, like you said, you know, it being a barrier is great for you to talk about. It's great for you to recognize and then accept about yourself in order to take the next step in wherever direction you're headed. Yeah. And I think being on the outside, watching you and Kenji in that intense conversation gave me a lot of hope for you. This is a milestone for you. This is a milestone for us. This is a milestone for those out there with a similar story, an experience, even remotely related to what you went through. I think what you went through is on the extreme side, especially for a Western world. That is some of the darkest aspects of life. Yeah. That torture, the having to harbor it and really unpack it yourself, your family, and dealing with the expectation of all those around you that just see the smile. Yeah.
Yes.
So I just want to commend you and tell you that I honor you for your courageous act of being here, having the vulnerability, but it's time to heal.
Thank you. Yes.
Okay. And like, that's why you come here. That's why you reached out. That's why I looked at what's going on and talked to Kenji and was like, no, this has to happen and it has to happen soon. So the timing with your life, when you were talking about, you will never get another job. You have a hard time holding a job. That may have been the case. It may be the case in the future, but I guarantee you what you deserve will come. Absolutely. That's the way that the universe / God works. When you do things for the right reason and it flows from the heart and it channels from the spirit and the source, the right things will happen. And it might look like, oh, I lost this job, but what will you gain? Yes. And I just want you to know, sis, you have a bright future because you're living a bright present.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Honestly, I feel like right now I already took the hugest step that I could take. Anyways, as far as the job situation, I chose to. I'm a registered behavioral technician. I am certified as that. Means I had to take all these tests and whatnot, right? Licensings. So that's what it's like on the same level as a degree, you know what I mean?
Yes.
But when it comes to the job itself, yes, these things are going to affect it. When I began my journey with the fight, I decided that was what I wanted to put all my eggs in one basket. So doing the fight was definitely my decision to step away from the position I had with the family that I had. The transition time was perfect too, but I already knew the risk I was taking going into doing this fight. And so that's something that I'm right now, I'm trying to navigate that because it was my decision to, I was like, you know what, we're going to do this. We're going to do it all the way. I think that, I just wanted to mention that I think that just to touch on the fighting thing, for me, as it correlates to my trauma and everything, it's given me all the hope and reason to get up and to keep fighting for something. It's hard for me because when I decided to do the fight, I felt that I finally found my reason. This is what I'm fighting for. And then all at the end of the fight, my reasons have changed. And it's just this ongoing cycle of, now I realize it's nothing specific. It's I need this to stay here, present with you guys, to keep functioning, to keep having a purpose.
So it was one or the other for the moment?
Yeah.
Okay.
Something I really wanted to touch on, I did mention earlier, was the whole bouncing around from team to team, because that's also a reason why I feel I didn't get nearly as much support as I should have. First and foremost, I just want to say that reasonably, everyone loves Kat Rabellizsa, who is my opponent, right?
Yes.
And so, of course, everybody was pretty much rooting for her.
Yeah.
Everybody was pretty much on her side. And it wasn't that I was the underdog. It was just simple mechanics of where we live. Two local girls got to fight each other.
Yeah.
That was like the worst position to put myself into. So when we talk about like this depression that took hold of me after the fact, a lot of that is coming from, I finally did what I set out to do, that I've been fighting for my entire life to do, was to be on that big stage and to win, to have a moment of victory in my life. If just the fucking one, if that was the only victory I could have in my life, at least go out on a bang, at least do something with myself. I have plenty of things to be very proud of myself for.
Yes.
I've accomplished good things in my life. But for whatever reason, like I said, that purpose that I need, it's in the fighting. Sorry, my point was basically saying that because everybody was so gung-ho against me and relentlessly so, I'm being called every name in the book, People are fucking coming at my neck. After the fight was done, I was receiving death threats in my DMs over the fight, over the fact that I won. So now this accomplishment that I've been setting my sights on for over 10 years, that I've been putting every ounce of everything in me to train for this moment, to accomplish this goal. And I feel like it was taken away from me. I feel like it wasn't even given to me. I feel like I didn't even receive my victory.
Okay, so I did talk to you about this a little bit, and I've been thinking about it. I understand your side of it, and I think it's important for you to express that. What I'm concerned with is, what do you think Kat went through? Losing her husband, right? You both have went through some traumatic life things, and she's still dealing with that with 5 kids that I've seen, right? And like, to watch the 2 women fight, me knowing what's going on with you and me having an idea of what's going on with her, the support she garnered was possibly based upon her situation and everyone that knew about it. And not too many people knew about your personal situation, which now they do, which would give them a more even understanding of the trauma that both women faced, how resilient both of you are, how loving and nurturing and powerful you are to persevere through that torment and take it out on each other in the cage. And you both did an amazing job.
Absolutely, we did.
She clipped you.
Yes.
You peppered her with jabs, and you had one straight right that knocked her back. And like, it was like 6 minutes of a culmination of life experiences come out in a cage between 2 women, which even that, the stigma that surrounds women barbarians.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
There's something absolutely beautiful about that. And I saw both of you wearing your heart on your sleeves and putting it all out there. So I did want to say, I saw Kat I think she was she was looking at my stories last night. Not mine, but the BrotherLee Time.
Yeah.
And I didn't know. Maybe that was before you dropped your story.
Yeah, I think so.
Today.
Yeah.
So I was like, that how ironic is
Timing.
it that she was. So I followed her because I'm like, I want to know a little bit more about this woman, this strong woman that's taking care of her children now, that still has the wherewithal to train for a fight. I was watching some of that and I was like, man, both of you are amazing. Mana wahine.
100%. That's why, like, I know that there was a lot of business that was going on in between us, from whether it be our camps, people we associated with, I don't know, because I did not allow myself to feed into any of that. Okay. There was genuine drama that was being created, which happens, you know. Come on, now
it's entertainment.
It's entertainment, right? It's a fight. Like, people want to drum up the drama, or they want to make the ticket sales. I refused. You guys saw the Gina Carano and Ronda Rousey fight. How they said that what they were standing for, the reason why they were so cohesive in the fight was because this is more than a fight. These are two pioneering women of MMA, and we are standing up here and we're opening the door for more of you to come through. My fight with Kat was exactly what you just said. The day of the weigh-ins, there was a story that popped up, an interview that she did on my feed. And the instant, okay, mind you, we know each other, right? We've trained with each other. I considered her someone, I don't want to say that I looked up to her, but I'm younger than her. So I always saw her as just this beautiful woman, exactly all the things you said, just fucking courageous, a mama. Come on, that's all the respect you need right there, is like, you've created life and you continue to raise those babies. And like you said, without your husband by your side. So she happened to do an interview talking on, you know, that subject. And when I say that, it like, I had blocked her and as many people as I could that was kind of like with her camp and stuff the second we found out that we were going to fight, because for me, I needed to make sure that I was in the right headspace. And for me, that meant I don't want to see anything that's going to throw me off. I don't really care what you guys see of me, because you can find it anywhere anyways. But for me, I was like, I don't want to be watching you guys getting psyched out and whatever. I want to see her training. So, the fact that interview had popped up on my feed literally like right as we was going to do the weigh-ins, and I fucking start like, I'm bawling before I have to go inside and put this fucking face on, right? Like, I'm fucking bawling because I'm over here like, this is the fight that I needed. Because this is exactly what you said. It was two women who have gone through trials and tribulations that could potentially break other people. You know, and the fact that we were able to get up on the other side of things, especially having not fought for a good while, both of us, you know, and to come back out there swinging the way we did, like, my intention was to knock her out. My intention was to knock her out. I said it straight up. I said it on the interview, and she would not let me fucking put her down. She would not let me put her down. She said, no fucking way, bro. You can throw whatever you like at me, bust his face up, but you're not putting me down. That was that conversation we were having the whole fucking time. And I loved it. I loved every single second of it. So the smiling inside the ring, that was genuine. That was all like, I'm just like, this fuck around. She's over here doing the same thing to me. There was one picture that they caught. She's so fucking bloody and she's smiling because we're literally like, come here.
I have to say, I watched that twice last night, and I was just like, God damn. Both of you displayed like the ultimate courage and tenacity. Like, you were both giving it to each other. And I think that when it comes to bare-knuckle, that's what people want to see. And you both escaped it. You both are alive. You know what I mean? And you both live to fight another day. What did you learn from that fight?
Ooh, there's a lot to learn from that fight. I'm very hard on myself when it comes to training and fighting. I don't ever find I am a martial artist, first and foremost. I don't like how people try to put everything into a category. You know, it makes it difficult because, are you a boxer or are you an MMA fighter? Because you came from an MMA. I'm a martial artist. I respect the art of what we do, the sweet science of everything that we do. And that was everything that we were giving to each other. And there was so technical. There was so much going on in that. Like, it was so smart, man. We're fucking like, what I learned from that was I deem myself the toughest bitch out here. I deem myself like, you know what I mean? Like, I've, knock on wood, oh God, knock on wood. I've never been knocked out before. I've never been put unconscious except for one time, rear naked choke, trauma stuffs. But as for someone actually like laying me out, I've never had that happen to me before. And the reason why I say that is because after fighting her, and I've fought tough fucking females, the toughest of Hawaii, I consider, absolutely. And being hit by a man and then being hit by these women, I recognize like, it don't fucking matter what gender you are. You can get the hands. Like, I am still the toughest bitch I know, but she gave it. She absolutely gave it. That's why even in my speech after the fact, like the first thing I wanted to tell her was like, yeah, you gave it. Cause man, I don't get hard rubs like that very often.
And you didn't knock her out.
And I didn't knock her out.
I was, watching you here with your smile and your makeup, and then the things that you're talking about. They're at opposite ends of the spectrum in terms of the human experience. And I think that there's a lot of people here that are wondering and questioning how do you balance your femininity and the violent aspect of who you are?
Oh my gosh. They're both just natural. It's exactly who I am. I am nothing more, nothing less. I think people are too nosy. People too niele. People always trying for freaking like, you have to be what I expect you to be. No, the fuck I don't. I am a walking contradiction. Ever since ever. After everything I've been through, it is just natural. I fought long and hard to recapture and reclaim my femininity because of the way I was raised. But my masculinity, everyone has it. There's a yin and a yang. There's a reason why we have both to balance us. I would not be able to sit here in front of you today if I wasn't as strong as I am, as resilient as I am. And I also wouldn't be in the rooms that I'm able to be in if I wasn't able to connect with my femininity. I also wouldn't be the nurturing, caring person that I am to be in public service if it wasn't for that part of me, that soft part of me. I say soft, not weak. I think people need to really...
There is a difference. There is
an absolute difference.
Anyway, so since we're kind of talking on that subject, I noticed the pua in your right ear.
Oh, man.
Well, you wore it.
Yeah.
And
it's part of my aesthetic.
It. Is it?
It's a part of my aesthetic. It don't mean anything.
Okay.
No, I'm just joking.
Well, here in Hawaii,
yes.
if it's on the left, it means you're taken.
Yes.
And if it's on the right, it means that you're single. So let's talk a little bit about that. Why don't you have a special man in your life or woman? I don't know what your preference is. Nowadays, anything goes.
Yeah.
And then I also want to know what type of man could hold a woman like you.
Ooh. That's good. First and foremost, I think that, because I do wear my heart on my sleeve. So when I am interested in a man at all, I immediately put all the ugly parts up front, center. You can get all of this. This is who I am. You can run away? Bye. Like, I'm expecting that, you know? That is, aside from that too, once I get into a relationship with someone, you better not ever tell me, oh, I don't know, you was like this. Nah, you knew up front exactly what it was. Yeah. I'm telling you straightforward because I've been through a lot of shit. So rightfully so, I own everything that I am. Times I'm aggressive. At times I'm, all over the place, whatever the case is. I think that in order to be with someone like me, you have to have an extreme amount of patience. I think that you have to just be able to empathize, not put yourself in my shoes. You just need to be able to empathize with exactly what we've been talking about today, which is it happened to me. These things happened to me. I didn't create them. I didn't cause them. I didn't want them. It's not fair to hold me to a standard to say that I'm crazy or unlovable or anything like that. I say this because I just went through a breakup at the beginning of my camp.
Okay.
So literally right as camp is starting, we're rolling and everything. And I was living with this man. And oh my God, it was one of those situations where it was literally like, thought I found my soulmate kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know, everything clicked. And I have love for him. I will always have love for him. I have love for any man I've ever shared any kind of space with, time with. And I put all of myself into when I am in a relationship, because you will hardly ever catch me slipping. I'm single. Ride that wave. Like I don't have the energy. I don't have the time. I do not have, man, I just don't have any more room to be hurt anymore by any more men's. I am not a man hater. I am not someone who's like, fuck it, fuck all these guys, man. You guys don't know how to act, whatever. I am a very soft little thing, like genuinely, especially when I'm in a relationship. And this man, I feel, really took advantage of that softness that is rare for me to show. It's not rare for me to have it. It's innately who I am. But I don't show it unless I really love you like that. And when I do, I give you everything that I have, because to me, it's not worth it if it's not all in, you know? And, you know, not everybody feels the same way about that. That's fine. I am just a very intense person. Very intense person. Going through that with him, he has a daughter who, from his perspective, he says that we rushed into it. I guess I would agree that we did. We rushed into it. We ended up living together. His daughter was calling me mommy straight out the gate. Yeah, very serious, very fast. So beginning of my camp and all of this stuff is going down, and then come to find out, well, this man also has his own baggage and his own traumas and all his own issues that he got to do, and he has a daughter. That baby girl, I pray for her every single day, because he has so much that he is going to have to atone for in having a daughter. Having a girl that is looking up to you, and your relationship patterns, you're setting the tone for her. So things like that really fucking matter to me. Yeah. I don't date because I am not a dateable person. I've got too much fucking shit. I've got too much baggage. I got too many issues. And it's not a bad thing. It just is what it is. Most people are like, why are you not taken? That's why. I'm responsible for my bullshit. Not everybody is. I'm responsible for my bullshit. I will not ask you to hold this for me. This is mine to figure out. Why would I put that on you as a man? You know, we both have to be able to share space to love each other. Like, I'm just very deep. You know, if I'm going to do something, it's going to be all of me. And I want real, right? We're doing this for real. This is not to play around with, because I don't have the capacity in me. I've been through too much.
What's up?
I swear to God.
What?
I thought I was looking in the mirror. Straight the fuck up, sis. I
was like, what is he gonna say?
No, I have a similar sentiment, because, you know, I feel similar. You know, I just have so much baggage. I've made some decisions that brought me to a point where I just carry so much. It's hard for me to feel comfortable in putting that on someone else. And I feel guilty before it even happens. So I kind of keep myself in this, like, fortified, you know? But, you know, there's, you know, sometimes it opens, you know.
The hard thing too about that, though, is that there are not many at least I've never met, really, I have not met too many genuine people who are even capable of dealing with that anyways.
Yeah.
Like, it's not something that's just readily available anymore, where you can't even really find genuine people who, if my tire pops on the side of the road, you can help me fix it. You can help me change the tire. I can't even fucking name really any people who would do that, let alone someone who is ready to freaking sit here and deal with all of this. It's a lot to navigate, you know?
Yeah.
So, for someone to be able to, you just gotta be a special person.
Yeah.
Gotta be a special person.
Well, special people attract special people, you know, and it's all in timing. Like, there's no rushing anything.
Absolutely, yeah.
Right? And when you rush it, you find that it's forced. And then when it's forced, it doesn't seem right.
Yeah.
You went through, I mean, I feel like heavy subject after heavy subject after heavy subject, but we're going to attack all these items.
Okay.
Miscarriage.
Yeah.
You've had a miscarriage. I'm also a father of a miscarriage situation as well, but I also have 3 beautiful daughters as well. But there's something that's always kind of sits with me, like, what if? Because for a snippet of time, you're emotionally a mother.
Yes.
And you are a mother. The process has started, and then when you find out, then your whole world turns upside down. I want to explain your experience. Well, I don't want to explain. I want you to talk about your experience with your miscarriage, if you don't mind.
Yeah, of course not. My situation wasn't, it wasn't a term. It wasn't even, I don't even know how many weeks along I was. I know it was very, very early. And unfortunately, you know how they say that you, like you were just saying, right? Special people are going to attract special people, right? You're going to attract what is meant for you. Well, I'm not sure if this is true or not, but apparently trauma still brings in trauma as well. Yeah. So I feel like every relationship I've been in has been part of the trauma. It's been just another add-on after another add-on. With my ex right before this past one, it was like, 3 years ago, I think. And there's not much to say about it. It just is what it is. It was very hard. We were together. We were arguing all the time. We were just at each other's throats always. And there was I don't know why we stuck it out for so long. Like, we just did. And it got to the point where, like, I was outside of myself. I was like, what is going on with me? Like, I'm flipping off the handle, and it's not like I'm not known to do that. I get angry. But it was so excessive. And it was actually my 3rd attempt as well during that time. And I was like, what brought me back here? The attempt was when he tried to break up with me. And I was like, whoa, that's not me. Not over something, not saying that that's not significant. A breakup is still pain, right? There's still attachment there. But it was like, I'm not trying to end my life over this. We were together for maybe 2 years, I think. And after that incident happened, maybe like a week later, that's when I passed everything. And that was what was scary, because I didn't know. So I didn't know. I've never experienced anything like that before. I didn't know what the hell was going on. All I know was it was very, it was surreal. Like, it's like, what? You know, like, I thought that there was something in me that said I was pregnant. There was something in me. And I was kind of like trying to hush that voice, I feel like. I think I was like, oh my God, that can't be true. I wasn't living the greatest life, you know? Like, I was still vaping at the time. Surprise, guys. That's something that I'll try to keep as low-key as possible. I quit. Thank you. I don't vape anymore. But yeah, at that time, so I was vaping and whatnot. So the amount of guilt that I had for being like, oh my God, I wasn't doing anything crazy. I wasn't doing drugs or like drinking or anything like that. I'm not a big drinker, but the whole vaping thing, I knew that we were always arguing. I knew I was always stressed out to the max, you know? So I think more than anything, I just feel very responsible for that. Like I wasn't taking care of myself properly.
Mm-hmm. So that experience came and went, part of your journey. And I'm sorry for your loss.
Thank you.
We're two brothers from Hawaii, and this channel is our opportunity to tell stories around the world. If you have a place, a city, an event, or a story that you think we should experience and you can help make the travel possible, there's a connect form in our site linked below. And if it makes sense, we'll reach out. Thanks for watching. Back to the episode.
I do want to dig in to the behavioral technician, the therapy, your experience with autistic children, you nurturing them, helping them understand themselves better, being a support. What has that experience taught you? And what is misunderstood by the world when it comes to autism?
It has taught me, I'm already a very empathetic person as it is, especially because of the things that I've gone through. So I have a very wide lens as far as like being sometimes overly forgiving and always seeing things from other people's perspectives. So when it comes to these kiddos, that is probably the biggest strength that I've gotten from them, is being able to truly empathize with them. Like seeing what their day-to-day lives are. I've done in-home, I've done in clinic, I've done in school. So I've been able to see the totality of what it's like to deal with something like that. I would say it's on the same level as being someone who is struggling with depression. You know, it's that same, you can't vocally tell, not all, but some, you can't vocally tell someone I have to use the restroom. The most basic of, you know, human necessities is to go use the restroom, and I can't just up and go. You know, it might look like I'm trying to run away. I'm this little kid, right?
Yeah.
Things like that, like really shifted my perspective when I started doing this, of how much we take for granted, like all of the things that we're able to do. It's like if you were to meet someone who is blind, right? You'd have more of an appreciation for why my sight is so important.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like working with them. And what was the second question you asked me?
What was misunderstood about autism?
What's misunderstood about autism is children with autism, people with autism are so intelligent. They are so intelligent. And they are so talented, and it's just not seen because people put other people in boxes and labels. Working with kids with autism, I've only ever seen exceptional people, people who are very caring themselves, open a door for me. They didn't even know how to say door, but they'll open a door for me. You know what I mean? Like little things like that. Seeing that someone who isn't vocal still be a math genius, an absolute genius, you know, beyond what he can't even graduate from high school, but he's an absolute math genius. You know what I mean? Like things like that. Yes. Just absolutely fills my heart knowing that the biggest thing is that you judge the book by its cover. You see them, you hear them making noises, you see them walking kind of funny or different. And those things make you just judge them and label them as if they're weird or awkward or whatever the case is. And people with autism are just phenomenal. I've never met not one child or person who has autism that wasn't just phenomenal.
You know, I have an experience with one of my guests, some of our beloved guests that come into the restaurant where I work at, Roy's Co. Olina. And this kid, I've witnessed autism firsthand through him. Actually, I've had a couple of situations in life, but I see this this person every Saturday, and this kid is he likes word puzzles. And like he legit will circle it perfectly and find words faster than anyone I've ever seen.
Yep.
Like,
absolutely. Yeah.
And it's like he has an entire book filled. And if you look through the pages, because one time I was curious, right?
Yeah.
So I was looking through, and every single page looks exactly the same. He finds every single word. And this is probably just one aspect of how intelligent this child is.
Yep.
He also has this love.
Yes.
That, like, I only hope I can embody. He always makes sure to, okay, Uncle Ty, and gives me every single time. Almost every single time I pass him, he acknowledges me.
Yeah. Yeah.
In a way that I think everyone wants to be seen.
Yes, absolutely. It's probably another reason why it's so healing for me.
That's what I was gonna say. So I was like, how has that experience helped your healing journey?
Oh yeah, like you said, like there's nothing like, just I've had such a lack of love in my life in every way. So I could say that this is probably the only time, since becoming an RBT that I've just for no reason, right? For no reason, just because that's the type of person that they are. And just giving me the biggest, I'm a very physical person. So just giving me the biggest hugs, like so healing. Or just talking stories with me. My thing is I'm very good with the nonverbal children. Probably because of that exactly. Because I'm so physical. So that's another thing that people don't realize about kids with autism is that they are way more physical than anything. So if they're nonverbal, I understand them plain as day. Like they have their own form of communication. But yeah, like you said, it's fascinating to me. It's a heartache in itself to have to see what their lives could or couldn't be like. To know that I'm making a difference in some way, shape, or form by teaching them some basic skills or life lessons that they need in order to survive and, be functional people in the world, because that's exactly what they are. They are functional human beings in this world that do things differently. And that's just what it is.
And they teach us a lot.
Oh, gosh, yes.
If we're willing to learn.
Absolutely.
So thank you for sharing that. I hope people will ponder on the importance of autism on Earth, within humans. 5 love languages. Are you familiar?
Yes.
So when you said that, the interaction between autistic children and you, physical, and that's what you kind of interpret as love. I was going to ask you, how does Hazel interpret love? What is your love language? And you don't have to have just one.
I was going to say, I don't think anybody has just one.
I think we have all 5, but then there's different,
there's just
ones
one that's
that are
more prominent. Yeah. Oh, well, clearly physical touch, definitely. I'm the type of person that maybe because I've gone through so much physical violence. So a hug to me, everything. Like there's something just so healing about it. Just a very genuine hug, definitely the physical touch. And then I would say I'm not a pick me type of girl. I'm not like notice me, appreciate me and all that stuff. But I think I can come off as that because I don't think men realize, because I'm so tough, right?
Yeah.
That I absolutely need you to call me every freaking cute name in the book. Like, I need you to be soft with me.
Words of affirmation.
Absolutely. Like, if I can't feel soft with you, then there's no sense in this, right? Because it's literally the physiological function between men and women is I will naturally be super soft and feminine and all of those things in the presence of someone who makes me comfortable to do that. I have that safe space to do that with you. A lot of men, for some reason, not take that for granted, but they just don't don't pay attention enough to that.
Can a man that is not as physically capable as you win your love?
You know,
can't be no chump ass dude. You know what I mean?
That's what I think about too. Yeah, I'm like, I can't exactly say I think I don't know if it's because like because of my self-worth growing up. I think I know I've accepted way less than I've ever deserved, for sure. In many of the relationships I've been in. So because of that, I've always been extremely open. I'm not very picky, I think, when it comes to men, as long as they align emotionally and, you know, like personality wise, those are the things that matter to me. I'm not going to say that it does not matter to me what you look like and whatnot, you know. Fitness is important to me. It is my life. It's not something I just do. So I believe that I need someone who has some kind of, at least like a, you're willing to share that with me in some way.
Yeah.
I think that's necessary. But
like sparring. I'm just playing.
You know, I thought about that. I'm just not, because I did date a fighter before.
Yeah.
I dated a Muay Thai fighter. He was very good, and we would spar all the time. And it was fun at first. You know, that was definitely the like, oh yeah, I got to be a fighter. We're gonna spar all the time. That was cute. But I think because of the nature of the things I've been through, I am capable of sparring because I've gone through so many of my own healing ventures. I don't think I would be able to spar my partner. So I think that's actually something I don't want. I can't say for sure, but I feel like, because what if one day, you know, we just get into it too hot and heavy? Yeah. And like there are times where I'll just absolutely lose my temper. Yeah. I know for a fact that I'm going to say this on public record because people think crazy things about me. Yeah. I'm a fighter. That makes me more disciplined than anyone else. Yeah. It makes me more knowledgeable of what I'm capable of doing and how much trouble I can get in. Why would I risk touching you outside of the sport?
Yeah, understood.
You know, and just in general, I just have that. I don't even have that in me. Like when I fight, it's for a good reason. It's not like I don't fight out of animosity that's weak. Yeah. That's weak.
You got registered hands, so they are technically weapons.
Rated E for everybody. No, but the reason why I say that though, is because I don't think that I would actually like to spar my partner. I don't think it would be healthy.
Well, you brought us out there, you lucky. Anyway, so I want to end on this because I actually do have to go to work.
Oh, shucks.
No worries. This was perfect. So what do the people of Hawaii need more of? And what do they need less of?
I will start with what they need less of. I feel like the people of Hawaii need less of the constant and consistent division between our own people. I think that is probably my pet peeve about Hawaii. Because when I brought up the situation about me and my opponent Kat and our fight and everything, in my interviews and in my heart, in my spirit, I was fighting for my people. I was fighting for me. I was fighting for my family. I was fighting for things that mattered. I was just so happened to be fighting another local woman, you know? That was probably the hardest fucking thing to do because the division there, you made such beautiful points, and that's why I acted out of aloha the entirety of our matchup, and I never spoke illy of Kat in any kind of way, shape, or form. There was never a reason to, because she was just another woman that, you know, inspired respect out of me, that I was appreciative to test my skill against her. The division that came out of that was not solely because people supported her. It was because it was two local girls fighting each other. Yeah. There wasn't, the hate that I got wasn't just because I was the other fighter. like there was so many things that really singled me out that I feel like, and there's so many different other examples. This just happens to be the one right here. So, but I can't stand the fact that on every important subject, Kanaka are always divided.
Absolutely.
Just on everything. Like, I don't think that there's ever many times where we are all maybe on stuff like Mauna Kea and like there are times where the Lahui comes together, yes, but I may feel like this because I am standing on the fence with some things, with the things that I do in my career choices and whatnot. But I can say with utmost certainty is someone who is very rooted, very culturally inclined, very love of who I am, the koko that I have, knowing I am Kanaka, no one could ever take that away from me, and loving the rest of the Kanaka out there because that's my ohana, like that is my people. And we, as Hawaiians, as Polynesians, we take so much pride in that. One thing that I've debated on with another soldier is exactly this. Yeah, but and they're another Polynesian too, but specifically talking about Hawaiians, you guys are divided on everything. How fucking shame that is to hear from another Polynesian person that they think that we are too divided. That's the reason why we are not successful in certain things. Is sad to hear. It's sad to know, and it's the truth. Something that I feel like we need more of, right? Because that was what we need less of. Yeah, we need less division. Absolutely. On so many things, on everything. We need... I don't know if I could say what we need more of. What is your thought about that?
Well, I thought it was on the flip side. It actually is related to the first thing that you said, and it was unity.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's almost the same thing, but I don't think there's a wrong answer. And we've talked about this many a times on BrotherLee Time with many different cultural practitioners and advocates for the Hawaiian progression. Things have been divided since Hawaiians got here.
Yep.
This island, this family, that family, right? But it's not ancient times anymore.
Exactly.
So to think about, like you said earlier, about being present, understanding the past, but not holding on to the past, releasing it, and figuring out how we move forward.
Yes.
Not necessarily at where we want to be in 20, 30, 40, 50 years, but where we want to be tomorrow, are based on the decisions we make today. And me and my brother, we are open about not having koko. Doesn't matter. We stand behind the place and the aina in which we are from.
Yeah.
We were born and raised here. I was raised next to Samoans, Filipinos, Hawaiian, went to school, it's a part, it's ingrained in who we are as humans.
Yeah.
And when, you close your eyes or you turn off the lights, we care about everyone.
Yeah.
We don't see things as this and that. However, we don't lose sight that the fact that the Hawaiian people here, the people of Hawaii of Hawaiian descent, there are some identity things that are going on.
Yes.
American, Hawaiian, Kanaka, Western, and then the modern comforts and how we drive cars, but we want sovereignty and what? So
yes. Yeah.
We're trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
And the thing is that there are many people that understand that it can coexist.
Yeah.
And there are some that resist that perspective.
Yes.
It's all good. But how can we respect each other in disagreement? How can we come together through disagreement and move the people of Hawaii forward so that we can give our beauty and our magic to the world in the way that it needs to?
And you see, the thing is exactly that. I'm not the first person to say that I truly believe that Hawaii is this is the breeding grounds of what can heal the world.
Yes.
Because of the fact that we have so much aloha, because we are so spiritually inclined, because we are so knowledgeable of the importance of aina and community and all of those things. And clearly we understand how out of whack things get when they're not coexisting correctly. I think that I think with the division between Kanaka, like you were saying, I think that the only way that we bridge that gap is, like you said, is being able, I think it's by being able to say exactly what we said about mental health. Everything stems from sadness. Everything stems from sadness. There's a sadness within us. 1893 is carved. It is etched into our spirits. It's on our hearts, you know, that will never go away. No matter what we do, no matter where we go. That is just, it's even people who don't have the cocoa feel it. You know, there is that sadness. And just like everything else we've talked about, that trauma, there needs to be a way to heal through it. And maybe it's just because it's been not enough time. I know there's a lot of Kanaka who say that it was still fairly recent that happened. But like you said, if we don't find a way to move forward together, we're not going to move forward at all. We're never going to be able to get to where we need to be by being crabs in a bucket mentality.
Absolutely. And you know what? It starts here. In these conversations,
Yes.
the more we talk about it, the more awareness we bring. And I don't care if I echo the same sentiment over and over, but I'm going to talk to different people about the same shit, and we're going to dig into it. And it's the awareness needs to happen.
Yeah.
We're not chastising anyone. We're not throwing shade at anyone.
No.
We're empowering the community of Hawaii through wonderful people like you, your stories,
Thank you.
right? And then our intention with this BrotherLee Time project. So I got to text work real quick, but I want you to bring us out, okay? And you know what? We didn't even talk about this.
I know. And the shorts
shoe?
over there.
How's this shoe?
Hey, hold on by your face.
That's
Hold on by your face.
nuts.
Yeah.
CSI would have on field day.
No,
with this fucking- you don't even need CSI for this. I can tell you what happened.
Ooh.
Check this out. These are the actual fighting shorts. I mean, this is a wonderful design. Who designed these shorts?
They're called Boxer World. Oh my God, they were wonderful. They shout out Boxer World because they were so helpful. They did everything to the specifications that I wanted, and my fit was awesome.
Jesus. And then, I mean, it really shows what happened in the fight. This tells the entire story. And, you know, once again, big ups to Kat. And I really hope that, you know, she has the support system that you need. Hey, maybe eventually you come tell your story here. There's no pressure, but the fight that you and Hazel had was one of the best. And it was monumental in the fact that, you know, for women's bare-knuckle fighting in Hawaii, there's nothing else really like it. So you're trendsetters, you're trailblazers, and I think everyone now, especially after hearing Hazel's story, can honor the both of you in the same light. Hazel, can you take us out with any last statements? Tell people where they can find you, plug yourself, whatever you got going on, and any last thoughts. And your camera is this one on the left.
Last thoughts. I just want to, first I want to aloha to these guys. Thank you so much for having me. This clearly meant a lot. I ask that everyone just show a little grace and compassion when it comes to social media. That needs to be, we really need to just pay attention to what we're doing on social media, like this keyboard warrior stuff. You don't know what anyone's going through. And regardless of if you have that information or not, be kind. It doesn't take much, or just don't say anything at all. You don't know what someone's going through. I am one of the toughest people I know, and I can say that for sure. But I know that behind closed doors, I'm breaking apart. I'm falling apart at the seams. There's a lot of things that I still have to deal with. And so I'm just super appreciative that I was able to come on here and for the first time really dig into the truth, a very uncomfortable truth. I ask that people give me grace about that and don't make it harder for people to come out and to tell their story. To talk about hard things like this is very important. And I'm thankful that we got to break that ground like this tonight. You can find me on IG at Sweet HWNGURL. I do a lot of different things. I would love any kind of support from anyone in regards to staying active in the community. I'm constantly searching for opportunities to give back, but also to work. As you heard here, a very vulnerable thing I did have to talk about was in pursuing my dreams, which is something that I still want to move further in. Unfortunately, it's put me in a very tight position. So if there's anyone out there who wants to kokua, even if that's just for the next fight or in any way, shape, or form. And please let me know what you guys like me do to like connect with you more, because I don't want this to stop here. I want the conversation to keep going. And yeah, just let me know what you guys think about what I can do to be a better advocate for the things that need to be talked about.
Well, that was beautiful. Thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you for spending brotherly time with us.
Kanaka como maloko e hanaya ya hevakoa e ano e kokula o kaleo a heleo valeno e
Tapping, cupping your hands on the top of your thighs rhythmically. This is going to help ground you. This physical touch is going to bring you back to center.
Does it matter which hand I start with first?
You can always start with the right hand. Yeah. And what this does is when you're starting to feel triggered or you're feeling any type of, the beginning stages of being triggered.
Yeah.
And we're going to do this in the office as well. But it's also something I want you to take home with you. And so that at any time, if you're starting to feel a trigger, there's a few things that we're going to stay in the office and do, and there's stuff I want you to do your homework at home. And I'll teach you all of this.
fucking go! Now you know who runs this shit, okay? Get your ass out there! Yeah. Come back in here!
To you.
Okay, I'm going to show you another method of tapping. This is going to help center you. So watch me first. You're going to take your right hand to your left shoulder, okay?
Okay.
And you can go ahead and do this with me.
Okay.
Right hand to left shoulder, left hand to right shoulder, and cross over your heart. And just like your knees, we're going to start tapping.
Okay.
Okay? Tapping. Just rhythmically, remembering to breathe, grounding you, bringing you back to your
I
center.
don't know what your problem is, girl. You better stop right now. Stop fighting. Stop fighting.
Melly, you're doing really good work here today. I'm here with you. We're gonna walk through this together. Okay? I'd like you to take the beef stew now, okay? I want you to just hold it in your hands. I know it's gonna be hard.
Yeah.
I know. I understand.
Okay.
Okay? I know. I'm here with you.
Okay.
I'd like you to take the beef stew now, okay? I want you to just hold it in your hands, remembering to breathe, bringing you back to your center.
I know. I love you guys.
You guys are so adorable. Oh my goodness. William, I want to hear how you guys met. Take me back to that day.
No, you tell her. You tell her.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Perfect.
We met at work, and I just noticed his eyes, and he just smiled with his eyes.
Let me see. Oh yeah, they do. They do.
He takes care of me.
You deserve that.
I try.
You deserve that.
You do.
You think you tell me no? Hell no. You don't get to tell me no. You understand me? Stop moving. I said stop moving. Stop moving. Stop. Just stop. Don't move. You're making it hard for everybody. You ready? times do I have to tell you? You're ridiculous! Told you now! How many times do I have to tell you? You're ridiculous! Stop it!
Melee.
What are you doing? I told you to stop.
Melee.
I told you.
Melee.
How many times do I have to tell you? You're ridiculous!
Hey! Not for ready! Ole! Lava!
He's going.
Thank you so much for watching this interview. If anything in this video made you feel something, please share this video with someone you think would feel the same way. This channel is a product of two brothers born and raised in Hawaii, using our skills, our story, and our growing network to unleash our creativity. For us, being creative isn't optional. It's a duty. We've got some incredible interviews and creative projects coming up, so be sure to subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. Thank you so much for your support. It means the world to us. Hope to see you in the next one.